Shedeur Sanders grades. Browns QB solid in win versus Raiders. Shedeur Sanders made his first NFL start in Week 12 against the Las Vegas Raiders. It gave the fifth-round rookie a good opportunity to bounce back from a lackluster Week 11 debut. Sanders' debut came amid non-ideal circumstances. He relieved Dillon Gabriel against the Baltimore Ravens after the Oregon product suffered a concussion. Sanders had never taken a first-team rep, by Browns coach Kevin Stefanski's own admission, and one could tell as the Colorado product completed just 4 of 16 passes for 47 yards with an interception. Sanders was quickly named Cleveland's starter with Gabriel remaining in the NFL's concussion protocol. That allowed him to have a full week of preparation to take on a Raiders defense that was shredded by the Dallas Cowboys in Week 11. How did Sanders do in his starting debut? USA Today Sports is grading Sanders' performance from Cleveland's win against the Raiders. Grading Shedeur Sanders' first Browns start. Sanders enjoyed a solid first start with the Browns. He wasn't asked to do a ton while leading the Browns to a 24-10 victory, but he flashed his playmaking skills while showing poise throughout the win. That 53-yard strike was one of 2 nice, downfield throws for Sanders. His other was to Jerry Jeudy, who he found wide open over the middle of the field while moving to his right. Sanders showed great patience waiting to find an open man, and while he couldn't quite hit Jeudy in stride, the veteran receiver was so open it didn't matter. Jeudy was able to generate some yards after the catch before he inexplicably jumped and fumbled the ball away to the Raiders. NFL Stat Central. The latest NFL scores, schedules, odds, stats, and more. Sanders showed much better pocket presence in his first start than he did against the Ravens. He looked comfortable stepping up in the pocket and maneuvering within it to create throwing lanes. The Colorado product also avoided fading back in the pocket, which prevented him from taking major losses on his sacks, which was a bugaboo of his in his first NFL action and in college. Sanders also showed an ability to throw on the run, particularly when moving to his right. His best throw of the day, a 53-yard strike to Isaiah Bond that set up the team's second touchdown of the day, came as Sanders escaped right from pressure and managed to feather a perfect touch pass to Bond before the Raiders could get to him. Of course, Sanders' first start wasn't without its warts. He threw an interception in the first half where he simply didn't see edge defender Charles Snowden drop into coverage and served it up to him on a silver platter. Sanders also had a couple of risky throws on the Browns' lone field goal drive of the afternoon. He threw a horizontal dump-off to Dylan Sampson that was nearly undercut and intercepted by Jamal Adams and also overthrew a receiver down the sideline, putting the ball in danger, though a couple of defensive backs couldn't get to them. Overall, Sanders wasn't as sharp in the second half as he was in the first. Still, it didn't prove costly for the Browns, as they built enough of a lead that they didn't have to worry about putting the game in his hands often down the stretch. Ultimately, Sanders did what was asked of him. He was steady, had just 1 turnover and, more impressively, was sacked just once for a loss of 3 yards. That's enough to earn him an above-average grade, even if his showing wasn't spectacular. Shedeur Sanders grades. Browns QB solid in win versus Raiders. Cleveland has never been a city that demands perfection. What it demands instead is grit, the kind of effort that leaves grass stains on your jersey and bruises on your ribs. And on a crisp Sunday afternoon against the Las Vegas Raiders, Shedeur Sanders delivered exactly that kind of performance. Not flashy. Not reckless. Not overwhelming. Just solid. Just steady. Just good enough to win. And for a rookie quarterback in late November, that's sometimes more valuable than a 4-touchdown highlight reel. The setup, pressure from all sides. Coming into this matchup, the noise surrounding Shedeur was reaching uncomfortable levels. The Browns were trying to stay afloat in a clogged AFC playoff race. Fans wanted consistency. Analysts wanted answers. And the Raiders, a team fighting their own battles, wanted to spoil the rise of a quarterback they weren't quite sure how to evaluate yet. It didn't help that every national show framed the game around the same question. Can Shedeur Sanders be dependable? Not spectacular. Not elite. Dependable. And ironically, that's exactly what he proved. The first quarter, a rookie settles in. From the first drive, you could feel Shedeur trying to find his rhythm. Cleveland leaned heavily on the run, hoping to ease him in, but the Raiders stacked the box, daring the rookie to beat them through the air. So he did. A clean, quick-out route to Amari Cooper for 9 yards. A tight window throw to David Njoku on 3 RD and 6. A throwaway under pressure that avoided a sack, a small decision that said a lot about his growing maturity. No fireworks. Just poise. And in Cleveland, poise is currency. The first quarter ended tied. Nothing spectacular. But the rookie had avoided mistakes, kept the offense on schedule, and looked unfazed by the pressure. Sometimes the best grade in the opening round is a simple A for composure. The second quarter, a glimpse of the ceiling. Every young quarterback has a moment in the game where he decides whether he's playing to survive or playing to win. Shedeur had that moment early in the second quarter. Raiders showed blitz. Cleveland countered with a play-action bootleg that sent Shedeur rolling right. For a split second, it looked like the play had blown up. Max Crosby was closing in. The sideline was shrinking. But Sanders didn't panic. With calm feet and an even calmer mind, he fired a strike on the move, hitting Elijah Moore between two defenders for a 22-yard gain. It wasn't the prettiest throw of the season. It wasn't even the prettiest throw of the day. But it was the kind of throw that says, I belong here. A few plays later, he capped the drive with a precise back-shoulder toss to Cooper in the end zone, a ball only his receiver could catch. Cleveland erupted. The offense exhaled. And Shedeur jogged to the sideline with a quiet confidence that looked very familiar to anyone who watched him in Boulder. This was the prime junior swagger, but refined. Controlled. NFL ready. Halftime grades. Steady with a spark. At the break, the unofficial mid-game grade looked something like this. Accuracy, B+, smooth mechanics, smart ball placement, minimal forced throws. Decision-making, A, took what the defense gave him. Avoided hero ball. Smart adjustments pre-snap. Pocket presence, B, still learning, still adjusting, but no panic moments. Overall, a solid B+/A-, exactly what the Browns needed from their rookie. But the game wasn't over. And the Raiders weren't going away. The third quarter, the growing pains show up. Every solid performance has a moment of turbulence. For Shedeur, it came midway through the third. Up by 4, he tried to squeeze in a dig route against tight coverage, a rookie mistake, the kind that defensive backs dream of. The ball was tipped at the line, hung in the air for a beat too long, and nearly landed in the hands of a Raiders safety.